One of the worst decisions you can do as women. If you're a woman out there, if you're a young woman out there, you listen to this right now, pay attention to this because this is something I believe that should be being taught to every single daughter by every single mom, if they want their daughter to attract a good, healthy man, a good man, in a long-term relationship. One of the worst decisions you can do as a woman, especially in today's modern day dating, is to never attract commitment or marriage from men, especially from good men, is having casual sex with a man that is not ready to be the father of your child, right? And end up being a single mom. That is one of the biggest things I want to encourage all the women out there is to avoid being a single mom. Avoid having sexual relationships with men who are not ready for that responsibility to love you, to invest into you, but not only invest into you, but also invest into your children that you bear for him long term. But that should be the number one advice to all the young women out there is to avoid decisions in your life that you end up being a single mom. And I know in this radical feminist society that we have created this illusion that single mom life is great, you're independent. Of course, we see in society that the single moms are one of the strongest women out there to raise and provide for the children all on their own. It's almost like glorifying the single mom role or life. But to make it fair, I would say, like I said, being a single mom is one of the toughest things to do, right? So shout out to all the single moms out there going out there and doing what they have to do to raise their children. But I know sometimes as a society, we want to glorify being a single mom. And a lot of women may look at those types of women, being single moms or being independent, doing everything on their own and still raising children. They might think to their mind, you know what, that's an option, that's maybe a suitable option I may want to take for my life. If things don't work out, I can always just fall back being a single mom. But if you look at the data, what is happening to children who come from single mom households, and you actually talk to single moms or you were raised by a single mom, you do realize in reality, it's not a fun and glorified life. There's a dark truth in the life of hardship that many women, especially women who are single mom, will face. And if we are not encouraging the younger women, the next generation of women, if we are not encouraging the women to find a good man, to attract a good man, what's happening is a lot of these single moms who are very toxic or who have never healed, they're encouraging their young girls to be to never depend on the man, never to rely on the man, never to trust the man. So now we're pushing young women to be independent, right? What we should be pushing is interdependence, right? Relying on one another, right? But what's happening is for a lot of these young women, they're being taught at a very young age to be independent of men, never to depend on the man. You can do everything on your own, all right? And that is why a lot of times these women struggle to attract commitment in relationships from men, because men are always looking for women that supports them, that wants to depend on them, especially men who are very masculine, right? We're not looking. And also just think about it, right? The whole purpose of building relationships is to come together, interdependence, right? If you just look at it from a very logical perspective, how are you going to build a relationship, a very strong bond and committed relationship with somebody if both party or the person you want to build a relationship with wants to be independent of you? You're trying to attract them and become closer with that person, but that person is purposely trying to be independent and go away from you, right? So that's one of the things I've noticed a lot of days, especially in today's modern day dating, is this whole notion of a lot of young women out there to be independent. I don't need a man. I want to do everything on your own. But when it comes to relationships, it's all about depending on one another, trusting one another, working together, and committing to one another and doing things together, right? And that is why I notice a lot of young women out there, they're not built to be in relationships because they've been programmed and been taught their whole life to be independent. And that's why they struggle when they finally have to be with somebody, because when you work with a relationship with somebody, there's sacrifices, there's things you have to give up, give and take. And there's going to be ups and downs, there's going to be disagreements, but you have to work it out, right? And that's the purpose of relationships. It's all this effort you have to put in, and you have to become selfless, right? It's not about you no more, it's about we, right? But yeah, so that's one of the things I just had noticed. So the thing is, if we are not raising these young women to be, because we are raising these young women to be independent of men, and we're raising them not to prioritize to find a good man that she can depend on. What's happening is for a lot of these women is they become very irresponsible to how they make decisions, especially the way they behave in their lifestyle. And a lot of the normalized behaviors that women are doing today, and that's normal in today's modern society, a lot of the behaviors they do is often repulsive from men, and it's one of the things that that repels men from giving them commitment, right? So, one of the things I always see us on today's dating culture, right? The culture of casual sex, the culture of sexualizing yourself on social media, the culture of being masculine, right? The culture of equality, and I can do everything a man does. There's no more roles. There's no more focus on the gender roles of what men bring to the table. So all these things that these modernized ideologies or things of radical feminism that we see on today's real life, a lot of times the very things that traits or ideologies of modern women are doing today, a lot of those things are the things that repels men, and things those qualities or traits that men are not looking for commitment, right? So that's why you see a lot of these women out here, because they've been taught never to prioritize finding a good man. They've been taught to be very independent, and they've been taught that they can do everything on their own. That's how they behave. So that's how they behave and do. They go out there and have fun, sex, go on their hot girl summers and do all these things that a lot of men value, especially when it comes to commitment and wifing in marriage. That's why a lot of these girls end up getting ran through, smashed and passed, jumping from relationship to relationship, and doing all these things, and also ending up having kids with deadbeat dads, or the guys are not ready for that responsibility. And then later on in life, when they try to look for a good man, but all the good men are like, nah, you're exactly the type of woman we want to avoid. And they're going to go out there and find and attract another woman, right? So for women, like I told you guys before, a lot of women, they don't value their youth and their 20s. That's something I always talk about on my podcast. The 20s is the time, it's called prime years, and women have prime years when they attract the most, when they can attract the most amount of men. And as they get older, they lose all the things that men value, especially when it comes to youth, beauty, fertility, and femininity. Those are things that men are always looking for. So as women get older, they lose their value. But for men, in order to be attracted to the opposite sex, they have to build their value by being ambitious, building their empire, and being financially stable. One thing I've noticed in today's generation is like we are teaching young women to be independent from men, right? And then the women don't understand, and then they wonder why a lot of these men are not attracted to them. And also a lot of times these women, they find it hard later. They make irresponsible decisions in their life and behave in a way that are not conducive for men to commit to them. All right. So that's why the one thing I do believe that we should start teaching young girls is to prioritize looking for a good man. Because what happens is when something becomes a priority, then what happens is you start doing the things that you need to do in order to attract that person. But if we are telling girls they don't need to, we're telling women like, be independent of men, you don't need a man, never rely on a man. And that's why you see a lot of these girls go out there and misbehave and make irresponsible decisions and get pregnant, get knocked up, get ran through, and all these terrible things, all doing things that are very unattractive to a long-term relationship. And that's why they don't get wifed up. And later on in life, as they get older, they're looking around like, hey, what happened, right? But the thing is, nobody told them that there are consequences to your decisions. Every single decision we do in life, especially when it comes to attracting the opposite sex, there's benefits and consequences. A lot of times, these women have been fed this lie from their radical feminists, from their moms, from the wrong role models in their life. They can just behave in any way how they please, and live their life, never prioritizing men and never realizing what men are looking for, and they never put in the work. And then later on in life, they reach all the way to when they get older, they realize that it's too late, right? The train has passed, and it's really, really hard to attract a very good man, to take them seriously, to commit and marry them.